Good morning again.
We are back in theory.
Yes, and no, we are not going to be talking about how Scott and I are getting kinky. Sorry, not today. Definitely not. Anyway, we're having fun with the microphone. Supposedly you can hear him better right now.
I'm better than I was. And so you don't get to see my smile today because I have to chew on this microphone to be heard. But it's okay. All in divine order. Yes,
I'm not sure how to turn up the volume for that microphone. Supposedly I'm using both. So yeah, we'll be working on another solution next week. But we want to get in and talk to you guys. So that's why we're here. We're doing this now, format channels with 2 channels, 24 bits, studio. Yeah, okay. So it looks like all is up and running, but hopefully you'll be able to hear them. And howdy again, Pam, Bonnie, and Afia. So let me minimize that. So
we were having a brilliant conversation as we were getting ready this morning before we hit all of these issues with our speaking. But what I wanted to start out with, we were talking about.
Well, let's make sure. Can everybody hear Scott now?
If you can't hear us, say so.
If you can't hear Scott, please let us know. We supposedly it's working. Yes. Hello again, Miriam. Okay. The video was great. Oh, good. I'm glad the video was great.
At least you can hear the video.
It sounds like Scott is again across the room now. Yes, okay. You can hear him.
I'm frozen in this position for the next 2 hours. I won't leave. I promise.
Yay! You can hear Scott. And can you hear me? I know. I'm just loud and proud and all that stuff. Okay. Now he should be on all of his channels as well. He wasn't on his channels. So it was just, yeah, a fun time this morning. Trying to get up and running. And I know you have 2 channels and I on your Facebook, but right now with the phone, yeah, we'll have to check that in a minute. But good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a beautiful morning. And Scott, you had a profound...
I did. I had a profound story that I was inspired with this morning. Julie and I were talking beforehand in our pre-dawn hours. I was at a seminar one time in California, and these were Dorian Virtue days. Anyway, there was a session where we were reading people who had come in for the seminar. I don't remember the exact situation. The story was, I was reading for 3 young teenagers that came in together, and they were teenage girls. And of course, they wanted to know about their boyfriends. Each of them had 2 boyfriends. And the proverbial question from each was, which of the 2 was the better for them? So I started with the first one on my left. She gave me their names, and I said, okay, I like this one, I don't like that one. And with that, the other 2 girlfriends looked at her and said, see, we told you. In other words, the girlfriends were telling her which one they felt was the best. So I go to the middle one, same scenario. I give her my preference of the 2 choices, and the 2 girlfriends both look at her and say, see, we told you. And guess what? Same thing happened with the 3rd girl. The point being that each of the girls could see the malfunction in the boyfriend of the one asking for the opinion. And yet they couldn't, on their own, devise the, shall we say, energy or clarity to realize which one wasn't good for them. What my experience was with these 3 girls was they were picking the bad boy, as it were. I don't know whether that's a female thing or a social thing or a guy thing or whatever it was. But Julie and I were throwing this out back and forth, and Julie made a point I hadn't thought about. So if the instinct is to pick the one that's the least preferable, I guess you're setting yourself up to learn a lesson. And if that's the process, so be it. But it was what Angie said. So they were preferring the guy with the red flags versus the guy with no red flags. I mean, men are equally guilty of that as anybody else. I don't mean to make this sound like it's a girl thing. Collectively. And God knows I've gone through my red flag scenarios. But the point being, you want to tune into your intuition. And maybe, what is it, the sexual stimulus? Let the clarity override the. So you want to go after the guy with the bad card, not the fast card, I guess. No moral of the story here. It was some clarity and experience I had that I thought was interesting to share. So you can tell us all about your red flags this morning, or if you have choices you're trying to make, throw them out at us, and we'll give you our heartfelt opinion of his or her name.
And thank you, Angie, for letting us know you can hear both of us. And Eric, welcome in. If you'd like a reading, please. Did you say you wanted specific questions this morning?
Yeah, we were talking about that. If you've got a question, it gives us a direction to go faster rather than going through the formalities. Hi, how are you? What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. If you've got a question on your mind or something that's sort of chewing on your heart, go ahead and just post it here, and we can work on that as the questions come through.
But you were also mentioning your intuition. So you said you ask yourself or ask your guides every morning. What was the question?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that too. I always wonder whether I'm doing the right thing, having the right thought, taking the right process. And so at night before I go to bed, I just sort of lay there and I say, okay, what would you have me hear now, or understand now, or if you could get to me? Maybe it's like a teenager asking their parent, if you could get to my head, what would it be that you want me to understand at this moment? And I was telling Julie, usually what I get is it's comforting words. It's like, we're here, it's going to be okay, everything's going to be all right, that type of stuff. I don't get specifics about, well, you got to get up in the morning and go to the grocery store and buy this or that, or get your card at the shop. It's none of that stuff. It's loving, sort of, would you say it, verbal hugs? Does that sound right?
I like that.
But if I'm about to leap off a cliff, I'm hoping they tell me. Except they let me jump sometime. That's been my process of life. So what cliff are you guys getting ready to jump off of? Give us a shot here. Oh, nobody's showing. No, the only one I hear is talking about how kinky we are.
Well, remember, you're reading from the top. So
I wandered down the list.
I know. Angie's the last one who posted anything. So
in the realm of spirituality, what if we could come up with a comedy routine? We could have spirit guide trying to mentor the unhearing physical person. I would think we could come up with some real comedic stuff about that. We certainly have a lot of material.
Yeah, definitely do.
We can hear from anybody willing to share. I go back to Jeff Dunham. What if he had a character that was a guardian angel? He could probably go crazy on that. Maybe I should send him a letter.
Yeah.
He's always looking for new material.
Oh, yeah. Not just a guardian angel, but a gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Because, gatekeepers are.
I don't know if spiritual stuff is his realm.
Well,
he must be channeling, though. The stuff he comes up with.
Yes.
You're familiar with Jeff Dunham, he's the puppet guy.
Yes, I would think he is channeling whether he knows it or not.
I would think. When Bev and I went to see him, and I'm watching him, I'm mesmerized by his wit. And I'm thinking, he's got to be keyed into something. Got to be.
Okay. And we're not getting anything from you guys right now, so I'm going to hit some commercials, and hopefully Pam or Angie, Afia, Mary, everybody who's on here, Eric, can let us know if you have any questions or concerns or want to add to the comic. What is it called?
The comedic environment.
In comedic environment. Well, I was thinking about the what we want to send to Jeff Dunham as far as his routine. Yes, comic routine. That's what I was thinking of.
Wonder what he'd come up with.
Okay. All right, let's get some commercials going here. Here you go. And happy birthday to those who are having a birthday, like Bonnie yesterday. Oh no, hers. Yeah, wait a minute. Hers is the 19th, I think. It was. Yesterday was my friend Sarah Rhodes. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Mr.
And I've added a QR code to help see that we have the chat, and the chat does show it's working. This QR code is to Scott's Slack page. It's something that you guys might want to check out. It is very interesting, and it's about an inquisitive human. So hopefully you guys can take a picture of that and check that out. I'm going to give you a couple more QR codes because we're not seeing anything on the chats. I mean, I'm seeing that we are talking, but nothing in the chats right now. And I know we had a problem last week, and that would be Restream, not us. I like that feeling. Okay, here you go. This is QR code for Scott's conferring with the universe book that he did, How Energy Guidance Protects and Shows Me the Way. And I'm still not getting anybody else on there. And 3 viewers scan the codes. Oh, cool.
So we do have viewers. Okay.
We do have viewers, and it is popping up that we do scan codes.
Well, then I have to start being clever here and come up with philosophical.
Okay. But my Facebook is not showing even the QR codes. So I'm not sure where that's being sent to. I better check my, yeah, all of my channels are up and running except for Instagram because we have so much fun with that one. Okay, where's you at? Okay, let's go back to you. Is this your regular?
That's the one.
Find your Facebook. Just get the front.
That's what I think I'm on.
Okay. Oh, did anything interesting happen on the 777 portal? Actually, I haven't gone through the, for me, a lot of things happened, but I haven't gone through the news feed because I did last time. I found out a lot of things happened for freedom last time. Last time was, oh, I can't remember the date. Well, July 7th, 2014, I had pulled all the things up, and it was more problems with the Ukraine and Russia back then. And they were fighting, and we didn't hear that much about it, but there was a lot of things on the news feed that I had done. This time, okay, I'll get that. Yeah, did you see any insight for the collective?
I was just pondering that. I was tuning in to see that's a good question.
Thank you.
Of course, what I'm hearing is going to be hot if you're in Arizona.
Thanks, fun.
Inside for the collective. What they're telling me is the world's going to keep doing what it's doing. What I've been hearing more of lately is keep a low profile and sit back and relax and enjoy the flight, is what they're telling me now. What I see is, especially if you flip through Instagram, just my experience. They're just, if you want negative stuff, hang out on those social media sites. Even if I flip by them, by the time I get finished playing, I'm exhausted just from the negative energy that pops through. I'm looking for kittens being saved from, tubs of water and animals helping humans, and that's the stuff that inspires me and I get excited about, rather than everybody's out there just vying for position, and one guy's opinion is being put down by another guy's opinion. So all I would say is worry about connecting with source, and that would be the input I'm getting from the collective. You've only got you and the powers to be. If you focus on that connection, I think you're way better off focusing on that than anything else. What about a loaf of bread? Oh, I heard something about that. Somebody was talking about cooking lasagna in your mailbox, and I thought that would be messy. You drip cheese all over everything. And then you got to clean up the cheese.
Okay, let me pull into energy as well, because the energy is definitely changing. The portal to me was very enlightening. A lot of energy flowing. It has slowed down quite a bit, but it's building back up again. I mean, it was lowering the 12th and 13th, but I'm feeling it's coming back in, because we've got the Lionsgate coming up and 3 more supermoons coming in. So we've got two supermoons in August, along with a blue moon in August. The blue moon is on the 30th. The supermoon comes in on the 31st. It's still a blue moon, but it's a blue moon on the 31st of August. So we're building back up again. It might feel heavy right now. I know Venus is in retrograde. I'm not an astrologist. I don't feel that stuff as much as a lot of people. What I'm feeling, and I still haven't found the right words for it, but I'm right now it's incoming energy, or energy coming into the earth from other realms, cosmically, all sorts of things. So I'm basically tuned into more of the portals than I am a whole lot of things. So different realms. So when those realms open up, and I know people think, oh, that's really woo-woo. No, it isn't. I've never felt like this before, so I can't tell you where it's coming from. I have theories. So right now it's going to build back up. But yeah, there's going to be, I think there was such a high when the portal was open and the Syrians were in and helping us, whether you knew it or not. There was another race, and a lot of people feel that it is the race that started Egypt, the pyramids, and all the space-like things now. But it's going to be building up even more. A lot of people got tired after. You were tired on Friday, right?
I was in a fog last week. I just sort of like, I knew weekend was up, but I was going, huh? About everything. It was just sort of I couldn't get in gear, as it were.
And even though I think it was just such a change of energy that came in, that people didn't know how to work it, what to do with it. It was such a, and for me, it was very motivating. I did get tired some of the time, but it was all the effort I was putting in to getting things done that helped me do that. We have a Janet Tisdale watching. Thank you. And I'm not sure. Right, she's on my Facebook. And I don't see anybody on yours today. You also have a Gabe reveal, so we're going to have to find that later. Yes, and I know, I think everybody was torn mentally for it. And I'm feeling a lot of heaviness all of a sudden that I'm told it is the collective. There is a lot of heaviness, but it's going away. Remember, we have a new moon coming first, and then the full moon coming in, along with another portal. And there's a portal on the Lionsgate portal. I'll have more information on that later. Then we've got 9/9 portal, 10/10 portal, 11/11 portal, and the 12/12 portal. So I'll have more information on that. I'll be posting those on, but I've been working on other things this week, and they've made me take some rest too. So
They have a way of doing that.
yeah, no, I didn't get a 2x4. I did not get a 2x4. So if you are having an exhausting week, they're telling you to definitely rest. You've got to be prepared for the next energy, because energy is changing. And I did look in the sky this morning. Something told me to look up.
Wow.
And there was a very strange, fast moving object.
Not a chemtrail or anything?
No chemtrail, nothing.
Oh.
And it was oddly shaped, and nothing that I know that we have.
It was so far, it looked like a little dot, or you had shape to it, you could see.
It had a little bit of a shape. It was more of a dot, but it more of a rounded thing, but it seemed to have a little bit coming.
But you saw definition on it.
I saw definition on it, but then it went so fast, and I tried to take a picture, and I tried to videotape it.
What time was that?
This was about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Huh.
Daylight, and usually they come at night. I was thinking it was otherworldly. Most likely it would be, because
how cool. I've never seen any of those things. I've seen satellites go by, and I've seen videos that people post.
Well, this seemed like it was in our atmosphere.
So no vapor trail from the vehicle, or no?
No, there were tons of vapor trails up there, but this one was in clean space the entire time.
Interesting.
It was.
What were you smoking this week?
Nothing. I don't smoke anything.
I don't either.
I don't put anything in these lugs. I don't like it when other people try to.
No, I get it. I'm the same thing.
Okay. And thank you guys for clicking on these QR codes. I do want to put caption up. So are you getting anything else? What I'm telling you is, yes, it's going to be, we had a change of energy, but now energy is going to start building back up. So get all the rest you can. Carry around amethyst for more clarity. That's what's coming in. And prepare for the next energy shift, because it might be even stronger. It's saying no, it's not going to be stronger than this 777 portal. It's going to be different. This is more of a manifesting type of energy coming in. So write down what you want, and it's coming.
They're just looking for questions.
Yeah.
They're anxious to show how much they know.
Yes.
How brilliant they are.
So please give us, well, do you have anything more on those other than heavy and hot?
No, they're not. My guys are very neutral. They're not very predictive. And the emphasis on being in the moment. I'm going to worry about today. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. Yesterday's gone. I've been pummeled with that over the last months, years. I guess they're trying to get that through my head. So it tends to be something I think about. The sun will come up tomorrow, in theory, kind of thing. So I'm not going to sweat it.
But I like the other song. What were you?
The other.
Don't. You were saying, no, what other words were you saying about Yesterday's Gone. Okay, there's the song, Yesterday's Gone.
Yesterday's Gone, yeah.
I love that song.
I've met people who, my mother was one of them. She, anytime you'd sit with her and have a conversation, it was, remember when we did this? Remember when we did that? And she'd always go back to the past. And then I've met people who, when you said, well, next week we're going to do this, and next week we're going to do that, and I'm going, okay, well, you know, they're looking forward to everything. But maybe someday this will happen, or maybe someday that'll happen, or I'll be happy when, oh, this is a good story. I remember when I was a teenager, my mother's dream was to have a swimming pool. We were in California. She couldn't, the whole thing was about swimming. And I remember her categorically saying she couldn't wait to have the pool. And she told me at some point after that, she thought when she got that pool, her life was going to be perfect. So we got the pool, and she said, you know what happened after about a month? Okay, now what? You know, once the pool was finished, and life continued on and doing what it did. But in other words, she was only satiated a little while. Now it's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Not that I am not guilty of that. It's just I try to focus and be aware of it. So yeah, if I get this, then what? But I remember that thing about the pool. That struck me as a kid when I first heard about it. And they just asked me, what are we shifting to? We always say, you know, I don't know much about this stuff. I hear people talking about the next shift, and if you want to go with it, you got to be this way or that way. And I just sort of, I get this vision of hanging on to the truck and see where it takes me. And assuming, and of course, I keep getting told that we'll go where we're supposed to go. I try not to put any energy into that stuff. Shifting into, I always wonder, there was a movie, a futuristic movie of humans evolving. We look sort of like stick figure grays in the future. We evolve into that. I don't know how far in the future that was. Of course, supposedly we were cavemen, and look how far we've come. Of course, I don't know whether we've come that far. We look a little different. And then there's even the word on the street that what we are now is all alien. We were put here. You know, the evolution thing really isn't like what they're saying it is. And then I read things this morning in Turkey. Is it Turkey? They have found the remains of some cathedral that was built, has 200 pillars, and it's 12,000 years older than anything else. It's the oldest thing they know of on the planet at this point. But they think it was purposely buried, so there's all that stuff in the news. So I go, okay, well, wake me up when it's all over. And Diana is arriving.
Yes. Also, what I got, Angie, is the shift is changing from darkness to light. Yet with increasing light, darkness changes, grabs onto anything not to be annihilated. So darkness is doing its best to keep its hold on this world. And that's why we're here, the love and light workers, or light and love, however you want to say it, are here to shine the light or spread the light throughout the world. And the message from Archangel Michael is to fight for freedom. Those who fight for freedom, or he'll be there for those who fight for freedom and stand for love. So I'm with Love Riot Warriors. I'm trying to combine both. Is we're spreading the light of love, but we're fighting for freedom. And there was a lot of messages this morning about fighting for freedom, and I'm going to have to post those later. Don't really want to get into it because I've got to do a lot of editing, I'm sure. I have no idea what I channel for certain. I mean, I do know some of the words, but I do have something that I was told to write down. And as Angie says, you carry a notebook so that you make sure that you remember what you wrote down or what you thought of. So this is one of the things about fighting for freedom. Each individual is fighting for freedom personally unto themselves.
Um,
That is what came from my channeling this morning.
that makes sense.
So everybody has their own freedom to fight for. And I know, Angie, you are definitely fighting for that freedom. Also, this other information came to me that I needed to get out. And it's sort of like what I say about the mirror, Angie, but this is another way for those who say little things, little barbs, or act like they're giving you permission to give something or for something. I give an example to Scott, but it didn't seem like, is that a good example? Remember you?
Oh, I thought your example was great.
Okay. So I say I'm going to do something, and then I'm told, oh yeah, you can do that. And this is a response for that. I appreciate your offer of permission. Fortunately, I do not need nor accept your offer. My power and energy are for my use only. They are not to be utilized by you and or your ego. Okay. And this is not meant to be mean. This is meant to protect yourself against those who have these little sayings that almost like they're giving you permission to do something when you've already told them what you're going to do. So I get that a lot. And the person is learning not to say these things to me because I keep coming back with things like that. And the other one that I love is when somebody's angry at you and yelling and all that, please do not look at a mirror when you're talking to me.
Ooh.
But that's not
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
to be mean.
No,
That's just,
But it's cold hard fact,
yeah,
and you're standing your ground.
right.
We were talking about this in a spousal sense, you know, when you say, "Oh, I'm going to do something," or even a friend's situation, and the person in a condescending tone can reply back, "Well, yeah, you can do that," as opposed to, "Oh, that's interesting. That'll be good for you," kind of thing. You know, there's an encouragement response, and there's a, well, if you think you need to response, or a controlled response, or a power structure response. You know, it's violent communication versus nonviolent communication, which I find all very interesting. But what Julie's talking about is just you take another approach back rather than pulling your gun out and firing your 6-shooter.
Yeah.
But it takes concentration and awareness to do that. It takes practice. And it takes awareness to know that what you're doing, that's what you're saying.
Right. And when you're bombarded with these things for years or decades, you kind of get used to them and let them go. No, don't settle anymore. You're more important than that. Take care of yourself.
So I'm getting a picture of a pillar. It's time to stand up in the rubble. You don't have to be part of the rock pile. You can claim your space, and you can stand up there in the middle of the foreground, as it were. And what's the word I'm looking for? There's a phrase. You're equal to the best kind of thing. You don't have to go on what somebody else says you should be.
Yeah. Oh,
Diana, you're asking for a card. Give me a number 1 to 34. Then give me a minute to find it.
do you have, where are you? Oh, they're there. Okay. Yes, and we do have, not sure who's all here, but we've got Afia, we've got Diggs BTW7. Anybody who has a question, Diana was other than Angie, Diana was the only one to ask a question. So Marianne, Afia, we know you were here first, Pam too.
Diana, I think we should send you a tent. You look like you're still looking for a house to live in. A tent would be great. You can pitch it anywhere you want. No rent. There are these new lights. This kid on Instagram is showing how to make a light with magnets. You put magnets and wire coils together. Free electricity.
No,
Let me look up your card here. Hang on a second. You can entertain her.
okay. Let's see. Let me get some reminders here real quick.
Diana, guess what you pulled? Number 24 is growth. It's even showing it the right way on the screen today. We must be doing something. I'll hold that a little steadier. Thank you. And of course, I see the tree in the middle, and I think of a tree growing from a seed, which would be the acorn into the oak tree and all of that stuff. But you know, all that stuff happens in incremental steps. And we were talking about that this morning, one day at a time. I know you're getting consumed with your living situation, but don't get yourself projected so far out there that you're consumed with the stress of the situation. Don't forget who you are in the moment. I remember playing this game with my kids. If you take an orange and you peel it, and you pull the sections apart, you've got two options. You can cram it in your mouth, chew the whole thing up, and swallow it, and be done. Or you can take, and I've played this game myself, you can take one section at a time and just totally concentrate on what that orange tastes like. One section at a time. When you do that, you're in the moment. And you're not worrying about finding your house next week or, oh my gosh, I got kicked out of that house last week kind of thing. This is all coming into place for you. I think you're putting way too much energy into worrying about the house. Go out and have some fun. I don't know if you're like, why am I seeing Starbucks? What weird drinks do they have at Starbucks? Go savor the flavor of something at Starbucks. But it's where I'm going with this is, I know you're getting better at it. You're learning with our coaching to take one step at a time. And I think you're jumping up out of your chair and you're trying to get in a full-blown marathon run. But this is all going to work out for you. I have good feelings for you. And you're on the track and you've done all you can do. Nah, you're not frozen. I would just tell you to go out and, this is a poor analogy. When I was in college, when people actually went to the campus and went to class, between classes, we would sit on a fence and girl watch, because in college there were people walking up and down the mountain mall. I'm not suggesting you go girl watch, but what I'm saying is go sit on the fence and just watch the traffic go by, see who's out there, watch what's going on in the world. And I'm truly here to take the focus off yourself. Go buy a flower for somebody, give somebody a flower. And I'm not being scolding, but the focus, the point I'm trying to get across is, and I'm guilty of this too, try to put your focus more on somebody else than yourself, and life goes a lot smoother for you because you've put everything in motion, and it'll all fall into place.
Okay.
Hence the growth.
Yes. Sounds good. And it's 10:10 for anybody who's in Mountain Standard Time, Pacific Time. 10:10 is always a good time. Okay.
And for those of you who have just joined and wonder why I'm choking on this microphone, it's our sound solution for this morning.
We will find another one tomorrow. We'll keep working until we get it right. Yes. Okay. We've got 8. We've got 5. Okay. Anybody else have a question? Only Diana?
What is croquet?
Isn't that a game?
It is a game, and I was wondering whether that is a question or just a statement.
Well, it says Nari and croquet, so I think croquet is on the.
She's on the site. Okay.
On the site.
I love
Yes.
croquet, as in mallets and balls and little metal hoops.
And thank you so much, Diana, for sharing. Do appreciate that. It's not that somebody will approach you, Diana. It's that universe will tell you what to do when it's time.
It's hard to imagine visualizing being in that house.
Yeah, you've got to do your visualization and your manifestation of what you want, where you want to be. Yes, you probably have written it down already, but believe it, see it. And of course, I need to put on the affirmation, so you'll remember to say this. And for anybody who hasn't seen this one, there's a lot of us who use this.
Good one, yeah.
I believe in infinite abundance. My wants and needs are met. Say it when you mean it when you say it. First thing in the morning.
You didn't get it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Getting it all. It froze. Well, sorry you didn't get it all, but I'm sure you can rewind it. It didn't show that was frozen on our end, so it will be recorded.
In a nutshell, go and be happy.
Yeah, basically.
And take your focus off you and help other people.
Okay. Okay. And yes, universe will be telling you. Also, last time I read you, both your ear chakras weren't working and they were clogged. Your right one is more so than your left one. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it to open up your ear chakra so you can hear universe when or spirit when they come in and tell you you need to do this now, and you just need to be ready. And we don't. Just double checking. They're not giving me a time. They're not giving me a date. Just she needs to be ready. That's all they're telling me is she needs to be ready and she needs to listen. So that's what I get there. And Croquet, did you have anything you wanted to ask? Mariam, Afia, did you guys want to ask anything specific?
Nari is an interesting name.
Yes.
That sounds like something from Avatar. Just Nari.
Yeah.
Is that a given name or an adopted name? It's pretty. So is Croquet, unusual. Or screen names, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe they like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Croquette.
Yes, they might like it that way better. Okay, so we've got that one and that one. Okay. Again, we've got quiet chat all of a sudden.
Diana, I'm saying just FYI, I'm getting 3 weeks. Run with that, do what you will. Take a deep breath, relax.
Yeah, but she was supposed to be only have 3 weeks left, and that was 3 weeks or more ago. So
I'm making this up as I go.
Yeah.
I'm here 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think people are tired with go with the flow too, Angie. Yeah, and it's not go with the flow. It's just, to me, it's like pull in that energy. When you feel a change of energy around you, pull it in, find out what it can do for you. That's what I've been doing recently. So definitely feel what that energy means for you. Yeah, that just got a chill. It's like, yes, grab that energy. As long as it's positive. Is there a reason why I can't remember my dreams lately?
Thinking. What I'm getting is you're blocking them. Part of you does not want to remember the dream. So what I think is happening, there's a message being sent to you, and part of your subconscious does not want to receive it. That's sketchy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. Maybe you've heard this before. We had an experience with a gal at a seminar here locally. And she basically was mentally challenged, but she had the ability to go to the other side at night where she was not challenged. And her presentation with the aid of her sister was to convey to us what went on for her on the other side. And she used the term fairy dust. She said she was always sprinkled with fairy dust before she came back, so she couldn't remember what was on the other side. So I'm offering you this game because I'm playing it. So I go to bed at night and I said, hey, could you forget the fairy dust tonight? I'd like to remember what we do tonight. Of course, it hasn't happened yet, but I threw this out at her sister, and her sister corrected me. She said, the smart thing to do is ask him to not give you so much fairy dust so that you remember parts of it. Because I think we would not want to come back if we could remember all of it.
Right, definitely.
So, but there's a blockage going on. But I think it's like Julie's affirmations here. Just go with the intent when you're going to sleep that I'm going to remember all my dreams in the morning. It's a programming. It's like watching a horrible, scary movie before you go to bed, as opposed to watching something light, uplifting, and what would I say, heartwarming. Just you're going to bed with two different energies. So just before you fall asleep, you want to shift that energy.
Yeah, and the person that Scott was talking about, I was there at that seminar as well, and it was great. I talked to the person a little bit, not as much as I would like to have, but 2 nights after the seminar, I was standing looking at her, and she said, I got permission for you not to receive as much was it fairy? Yeah, fairy dust as normal. So you will remember a little bit. And I did. I remembered, and it was her heaven, what she called heaven. And she is actually one of the gatekeepers that night. That's one of her jobs. And yeah, it was a beautiful thing to see. I got to see a little bit of her of what I consider her heaven. And what was Kincaid? What's that guy's name? Who's an artist? No, it's no. Oh, I know that name. I'm gonna say that in a minute. But no, there's an artist that does cottages and stuff. His last name is Kincaid. I think it is. But anyway, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, the small cottages and the different things that this artist would draw and paint. It was like a scene from what he did. Anyway, as I was walking down the streets of her heaven, but when I was standing there, I had remembered that later. But when I was standing there getting ready to leave, and she told me she had permission not to give me as much. She had told us
lower the dose.
Yeah.
Lower the dose.
Yeah, that's what you need to ask, is lower the dose. She had told us that she had.
Kincaid is the artist.
Oh, Thomas Kincaid. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. She had told us in the seminar that she had married a celebrity who had passed. So who do I see behind her right shoulder is none other than Paul Walker, with his brilliant smile that he does have. And for those of you who do not know who Paul Walker is, watch the Fast and Furious. I think it's the first 7, maybe 8. I think it's 7. Anyway, he has passed, and she married him in heaven. And yes, and I think he was our guide, or my guide, to see her heaven. But at the end, like I said, he was standing there with his big smile on his face. So that was my dream. And
so the moral of the story is, don't take as much fairy dust before you come back.
Ask them ahead of time to lower the dosage, like he said, and don't tell them to forget it at all, because they won't.
And affirm that you're going to remember it.
Yes.
It's programming, and it's tell your subconscious to back off.
Well, and make sure you are hydrated, and when you go to bed, and all the things that you're supposed to self-care, do all your self-care, because you might have forgotten something, and you just want to make sure you're ready for the
I
dream
just
to come.
had another thought, Marianne, and I'm going to throw this out. You were having some dreams, and I don't know if you're writing them down or keeping track of them or what you're doing, but the message I just got was, you're not following through on the dreams they've given you so far. So you need to backtrack and keep track of these things and deal with what they've given you so far, maybe before they're going to give you more information. And that's my wisdom of the moment. Hope that helps.
Yeah.
And we got Thomas Kincaid and Jeanette Gormley.
Sorry, Gormley.
Hello, Jeanette.
Okay. We're asking anybody to give us questions. Mary Ann has given us question. Diana has given us question. I do write my dreams down. Good.
Definitely go back and check them. There's something you aren't processing that they've already given you. That's great.
And keep writing. Yeah. Keep doing what
I
you're
had a
doing.
weird dream last night. I dreamed about a past relationship. I don't know what that's all about. Must be some lesson there. It was out of the blue. I hadn't heard about her for a while.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, let us know what you figure out. Also,
Yeah.
let us know about the fairy dust thing too.
Yes, whichever works and which doesn't work. That way we know what to do next time. I did have a dream 2 nights ago that I was driving in St. Louis and I was trying to find my old street. And I went too far and then I was turning around and all I kept hearing was a man's voice saying, pay attention, or no, follow the traffic signs, follow the traffic signs, said about 10 times. There was nobody in the car with me. There was nobody around. There were no traffic signs, and I had no idea what was meant by that. But now that when I get in my car now, I remember that. Follow the traffic signs. Follow the traffic
In
signs.
other words, do what the arrows say.
And the speed limit, because I have a tendency to be a little
Oh,
bit
I see what you
heavy-footed, but
Yeah.
no, I'm told to follow them. And I don't ask why. I'm following them now. I'm just doing it. I'm going to be safer. I know that. What does Spirit need me to know? I'm worried about my finances, but can't work.
I'm getting if you
Go
got something, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Just the image I'm getting immediately, Jeanette, is they're showing me you sort of holed up in a room by yourself, pulled back in a corner. My sense was it was somebody else's house, or so where I don't know to go whether that's where you are, but you definitely are showing signs of fear, being closed down, afraid to move, kind of thing. But now what they're showing me is you need to walk outside and know everyone's going to be okay.
She might not be able to walk out, but
That's what, yeah, I'm not, that's true too, not being able to walk out. I'm worried about finances. The first impression I had was, is there somebody you can fall back on and sort of take refuge with while you work out the situation? It seems like there's somebody willing to help you that you're not reaching out to, or they haven't let, what I'm hearing is there's help out there. You haven't asked somebody. I think you've got a resource that you're afraid to approach. You might consider that.
I can go outside. Okay, good. But real sensitive to the sun.
Then stand under in the shade. I do the same thing. I run from tree to tree, and my skin does not like the sun well at all.
Yeah, but we are also here in Arizona. So just saying. I mean, she's in Ireland, so yeah, Arizona's a little bit different for a lot of people. Love to have you come out here, but yeah, if you're sensitive to the sun, this is not a good place. Just saying. What I got is using your using IT, using a computer, that you can work on a computer. You can do something. Lot of sun where you are. Yes, yes, we do have a lot of sun. Many days. We haven't seen rain in months.
No, it's supposed to rain next week, somebody said.
I just keep asking.
But what Julie's saying, I'm seeing all kinds of ads. Now, don't get yourself into a scam, because I don't.
Yes.
Here's what I don't understand. If somebody's got this technique that they're pushing on the internet, that you can make all this kind of money, why aren't they making all the money? Why are they having to advertise it? So
Right.
that's my first question. But I know there are ways, even stuff on eBay and Etsy and that type of thing. I'm not sure what your disability is or whatever, why you can't get out, but there's help around you for the interim. And keep your eyes open. Don't be afraid to step out.
Well, she said she can get out, but she's seen rain for a week, nonstop.
We'd love to have that here.
Yes, send it to us. Did you just drop that? Okay,
No,
cool.
makes it easier.
Yes, it does.
Let's hang on to.
Oh, your spine. Okay, understood.
Spine. Okay, how can we help
Make
that?
me sit up straight.
Oh, you know what I've been doing on that? Because I've got some L4 things going on, whatever. I truly have been doing that. Excuse me. And what I've been visualizing is a little construction crew starting at the top of my spine underneath my neck and just working their way down my spine. I visualize the vertebrae and I visualize the joints or the discs between them being rebuilt, being plumped up, all these silly little games I play with myself. The reason I say that, there was a book about a little boy and his grandmother wrote the book, but he had a brain tumor. And this was in the beginning, early days when Star Wars came out. Long story short, they taught this little boy to imagine his tumor being attacked by Star Wars rockets or whatever you want to call them, shooting little laser beams at the spine. And he'd be hanged if he didn't visualize his way away from this tumor, and it dissolved. What I'm getting at is just that visualization is a very creative process. Of course, being a kid, he was more open to the belief of the possibility of it, as opposed to a structured, conditioned adult who's had imagination be having. But if you've got nothing else to do, I would lay there and play with your spine all day. I do it with my third eye. You play that imagination center, visualize the spine, look up a picture of the spine, and count all of them. I think there's 26, 27 vertebrae. You play with each one of them. I've even visualized. You ever visualized a cartoon where there's all this debris and dust, and as the dust settles, the thing that the creature's building has evolved? I've visualized white silver light spinning around my vertebrae and all that jazz. And so play that game. I think that would, since you got nothing else to do, and I'm not being, I don't mean to be a wise ass about that, but I mean that fully as a possibility to consider and play with.
Yeah, definitely. Try anything.
Yeah, what the heck?
Especially free and with your own
imagination.
And it'll work on your imagination. It'll also work on your intuition too. It'll build you back up.
Oh, the other thing I considered that I always like, which was important for me to learn, if you can create the feeling, let's say that whatever this correction is you need in your back has taken place, and whatever that would change for you, how would you feel? And I want you to generate that feeling outside of your current condition. Put yourself in the future and go, oh my gosh, I can do this, I can do this. And imagine what it would feel like. Just being like an actor in a play, to truly be the character. And I've been taught that the universe responds to that faster and more positively than visualization. So visualize and create that energetic feeling. And you'll be doing flips here in no time.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that helps you. I'll try this. Yeah. Thanks.
No charge.
Well, let us know how you get along with that too. We definitely want to know that you're healing yourself, because mind over matter, it can work.
It's a mind over matter thing.
Anything can work. She laughs at mind over matter. Oh.
Or no charge.
Oh, okay. I think there's a no charge. Okay. All right. So anybody else have questions? Afia, are you still around? Did you have a question today? Because we've done Diana and Angie and Diggs, BTW7. What's up with you? How's it going?
That must be a Facebook thing.
No, it's a Twitch.
You'll have to interpret for me.
Yes.
You're in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm in the bottom. Jeanette was the one. We're just at 1 hour. The first time didn't count today.
Oh, it's because we started late.
Well, we came back. So
this
is the second one.
The accumulation of the second one.
Yeah.
Best bath to my highest self? Hot water. She just typed it on. The best path to my highest self.
That's my brother.
$10.
Yes, Timbuktu. That's my brother.
I'll give you that one.
No. Don't read your own.
What's his name?
RG.
RG.
RG, yes.
You know what I'm getting, RG? Be honest with yourself. There's something you are deluding yourself about. I don't know if it's a belief or a want or an impression you're trying to make with somebody else. You want to stand up and be who you are. Don't try to be something you're not, because you can only hold a false image for a short period of time, and then the cloaking devices turn off. and who you are shows through. And I can attest to that through many experiences and relationships. You can only keep that best foot forward to try to impress somebody, but before long, you just can't maintain the energy to keep it up there anymore. Unless you're that person by nature naturally, but you're, what would I say, who you are shows through, and that happens to everybody.
Mhm.
Not that I've got this figured. Yeah, I want a newer cloaking device. I want the new model, the one with the solar charge. I don't have to
Yeah,
worry about
there you go.
plugging in.
Well, for my brother, he would like salt water because charging,
Oh,
because he's near the ocean. So
of course. Every time I was sick when I was in California, I go to the ocean, I'd be healed. That's wild. I hadn't thought about that, especially if I had a cold. Nothing about the salt water would just suck it right out of me.
well, and he has just started on his spiritual path recently. I mean, paying attention to it. So he's changing as he's going too. So he's still looking for his true authentic.
Oh, we are all looking, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I? Who am I? But that's a good place to start.
You might want to plug that in. I don't know if anybody's heard you. Sorry about that.
I was totally disconnected. Anybody didn't get what I was saying? Jeanette might have been getting something.
No, she got it.
Okay.
She heard you, but I don't know if RG got you.
RJ, did you get everything I said? I'm sorry. I'm sitting here talking to the wind.
He can't hold still.
Maybe,
So
maybe he wasn't supposed to get the message. I don't know.
yes, he needs to get the message.
I'm Natasha. While I'm sitting here trying to plug myself into the universe, pick a number between 1 and 34.
I think I got it.
Oh, good.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know at what point I came disconnected. This wire stuff. Be who you are and be proud of it.
Yes.
Unless you start seeing people walk away, maybe you want to reevaluate that.
Maybe they needed to walk away. I'm sorry, but
Now it's locked up.
what's locked up?
When people say the screen was locked up on their end, is that what happened?
Can you hear him at all? Can you hear me at all?
Natasha, did you hear us at all?
Hello.
Plugged in.
You're plugged in. Plugged in here.
Didn't feel like it's set right.
Okay. Let me double check. Yeah. Yeah. Everything's fine. Yep. That's good. Okay. I'm going to do some commercials while we see if we're locked up or we're working.
Natasha, pick a number between 1 and 34. That sounds so European.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Pam hears us.
And we are back. I guess Pam says she can hear us.
Oh,
Oh, now working. Number 11.
that's your brother,
Oh,
Natasha. Well, we can give your brother number 11.
that is definitely his number.
Okay, since we're waiting on Natasha, she's still out there. What's your brother's name again?
RG.
RG. That's in initials RG.
Correct.
Oh.
Correct. Very good.
I was going ARGY or something.
No.
Okay, here your cards are. Says no, clearly no. My impression about it. Do you have some harebrained, scattered idea you thought you were going to try? I say that affectionately. There's something you're pondering that probably would not be a good move. I don't think you're deadly serious about it, and I think it's a casual thought, but I would weigh the outcomes within hearing if you did pull it off. And if you tune in, I talk about feeling energy, like when you go to the post office or when you go to Walmart or you go to whatever store you go to. Each of them has their own energetic feel. It's a matter of tuning into it, what's comfortable to you and what's not. So whatever that thought is you've been pondering, I would tell you to pay attention to the feeling you have around it when that thing enters your head or you're processing it. If it's a frustrated, forced feeling, like, I can do this, but it feels like a lot of work, as opposed to, oh, I can do that. If it seems you're looking for the feeling of ease versus the feeling of being really having to put some effort into it. I've learned to go with the ease feeling because the other one just, it's way more work. Still locked up, number 11, still no Natasha.
I'm back. We love it. Thank you, Angie.
We're still here.
It's positive. Be positive. I'm just double checking everybody's.
We lost Natasha, I guess.
I guess, yeah, guess she didn't stay for long. Okay. So, other than working now, so anything on the RG? Anything on the on what he said?
Happy birthday song is ringing through my head.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of birthdays this month. A lot of birthdays. I think you're on the there. I don't see anybody on yours.
No, it's a slow day.
But it's a good day. So, yes, energies. Oh wow, a lot of coming in on my at my ears, but it's like they want to.
Oh, you're getting?
Yeah.
Do tell. Pam is going to collect her thoughts here. Pam, my Julie, I know who she is.
Yeah. Well, you need to figure out something. Did you want to? Is there any messages you need right now?
I was focused on this. I could
Okay.
tune in that way, but you know,
Okay.
Julie's getting downloads. She's like, just we got to grab them. We got to take note of them when we get them. We never know if they're coming back again or not. Let's see what the collective is. They're patiently waiting backstage. They're wanting to welcome those of you who are new to this venue. It's our earnest belief that those attending here today are truly in the front ranks of those who wish to take the next step forward. We would encourage you all to continue your processing on a daily basis and not look to those around you, but look to the source above you. It's important from our perspective to learn how to connect to that energy that is around you in a gifting sense. That energy is more prominent to your existence and expansion than those around you or items of possession. If you were to own nothing in this worldly experience, that would be, we feel, a prominent position to be, because then you would not be concerned with the energy that it requires to maintain those possessions and acquire those possessions and continue acquiring more possessions. Think of how freeing it would be to collect all of that energy and totally focus it on source and your connection to that, shall we say, manifested connection point. We encourage you to extend yourselves up as often as possible and thank that energy around you, not in a worshiping sense, but in an appreciative gratitude sense for all that it shows you. This one especially has learned how much has been put forth energetically and direction in his path, and he is coming to the awareness of how much of it he has been blessed with to receive, and is being highly aware of how much is coming to him rather than how much he is in control of. And we would like to emphasize that word control. You tend to think that your day is yours, and if you would but take a step backwards, you would be aware of how much you are being steered and guided and not coerced, but lovingly directed and steered. That's quite a sensation to experience once you are aware of it. We honor you for being here today. We honor you for allowing us to be part of your experience and growth. And feel free to access this team, this collective, and the collective that you are part of anytime you want. It's always waiting, it's always standing by and anxious to participate in your experience. As you participate in your experience, your collective benefits as well. Blessings to you all. We will back off and return backstage and oversee you as you continue your session here. Blessings to you once again. Well, that was not expected, but thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And you know what? Talk about perfect timing. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that funny how that works?
I know. I was being
Love it.
bombarded. Energy is coming from everywhere. Wow, everywhere. You need a filter to only accept positivity. Negativity needs to be sent away through your Earth star or soul star if it has been received, or reflected with your outward mirrored bubble. And the word self-constructed bubble it came into, directed to Earth or and heavens. Hold on, a little bit more. For reclamation and rehabilitation to become positive and light living energy. So that's what I've got. And so that heavy energy that's coming in, it needs to be, if it's in, send it out through your Earth star, which is the chakra that is 6 inches below your feet, and your soul star, which is 6 inches above your head. And yes, they do work. If you need information on those, anybody out there, Google Earth Star and Soul Star and activation affirmations, cleansing affirmations. They're there. They do work. So utilize those. And you will want to clean out your star, your stars after you get rid of this energy as well. But if any of you do not know how to make a bubble, basically it's imagination. It's a visualization where you create the bubble. A lot of people will put angelic light or gold Christ light inside that bubble around them. I have a bubble and I have mirrors reflecting outward.
Like a disco ball?
Yeah, like a disco ball. You're inside the disco ball.
Yeah.
And the reason why I use it is because it reflects out. And being an empath, that has helped me a lot.
Really?
Because only what I need to feel comes in. If I don't need to feel it, if my gatekeeper doesn't allow me to feel that, it stays out. Because before I really constructed it, I could feel how somebody died. And I can tell you that's not very pleasant.
Wow.
Sometimes. I can still feel a little bit, but compared to before, it's so much easier to deal with. It's so much easier as an empath to deal with what is allowed to come through. than it was previously. Because
Mm.
I'd stop. I mean, it would be very difficult to breathe, and I'd have to, when I'm reading somebody through mediumship or anything else, I'd have to, get myself together before I could carry on. So just let you know, the bubbles do work.
I've tried those, and I can't tell. You're very sensitive to this stuff. I don't feel what I hear. I hear other people talk about it. No, not feeling it today.
Yeah.
That's great that it helps you, by the way. I've heard of that process.
Yeah.
The other that makes me think of when you watch people walk in a room and they're uncomfortable being where they are or they're in front of somebody, where they cross their arms on their chest,
Mm-hmm.
and people do it unconsciously, but
Yeah.
you're blocking that solar plexus energy,
Right.
kind of thing, for protection. Once I was told about that, I started paying attention to it. You can see it. People walk in the room and get all locked up because something's uncomfortable for them in that experience.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
You got somebody in there? Oh, I was hoping somebody was in there. Okay. Does any of that help? Also, I talked to somebody, and I've done this too, where there is a certain person in your life that you basically want to protect other people from. So you put a bubble around them and you put the mirrors on the inside. Yes, and you can still use the lights. And believe me, this helps me quite a bit too. And I talked to a lady who had done that, and she's an author. I can't remember the name of her book. I'm so sorry. I'll have to find that for next time. But she did that, and she said she did that to her, what is now her ex-husband. And she said, I did that, and about I think she said 6 months later, he left her some money and said he couldn't do anymore, and just left her alone completely. And it's like, it works. So said, oh, okay, that wasn't the reason why I did that, but hey, if it works, it works. It doesn't matter as long as it works for you. Anything can work for you as long as you believe it will.
That takes me back to the Spielberg movies where it was a World War II movie he made. And the plane was going to crash, and the guy was stuck in the belly of the airplane. He visualized, they had landing gear trouble. Anyway, the guy imagined landing gear so vividly that it created landing gear, and the plane landed long enough to get him out, and then the landing gear would dissolve. It was an old Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember that. Talk about.
I think I saw that one too.
Yeah, big cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wheels on the bomber.
But it worked.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what I visualized. All this stuff. I visualized being 35. I haven't pulled that one off yet. Keep working on that one.
Internally, I'm 30, but
yeah, 35 is when I tell you. I see my old passport picture from 18 and go, holy smokes.
Oh my goodness.
Who is this guy? There was some guy on Instagram. This was an amazing picture. He could have been, I don't know why he wasn't a Hollywood actor. He's walking down the street, and in the day, men wore suits like almost everywhere. Good looking guy. He's now 90. And this posting was him now versus him in 1932, I think.
Oh, wow.
He said, and he's 6 foot something, just a gorgeous man. And he says, I can't believe that I looked like this at one time. And I thought, you couldn't tell the two, but obviously he was reminiscing. I go through that just when I stumble on that passport picture and I put it back on board. I can't believe I look like that.
Yeah. I don't know if when the collective came out, is everybody thought we've got 8 people on at least. So, but nobody's talking again.
Anybody got a question for the collective or do you? You might try that.
Oh, I want to ask, we can, whoever has a question for collective, but Angie, what's happening with the lottery? Because you came on and said, did anybody win?
Oh, is Angie trying to win the
Whoa.
Oh, I bought a ticket on. No.
Oh,
I didn't even get one number. Not one. So now I'm wondering why I had the inspiration to get the ticket. I used to try to play my birthday numbers and What's the one? I've lost more than I've won, but something about gambling.
Yeah. I didn't win. Okay.
And you didn't
But
win.
you didn't hear anybody, if anybody won it? Because you were saying that combined they were over $1 billion.
Oh, did a bunch of them go together on a ticket?
No, Mega Millions and
Oh.
Powerball
Well,
combined would be over.
it was like 509. It was a ridiculous number.
Well, one was like 700 too.
Really?
So, yeah.
I can't imagine. What maybe ultra politics with it. That's what they're doing.
I don't know
Go
if that'd
back
be
your
worth.
candidate.
I don't even think that'd be worthwhile. I'd rather spend it on people than, I mean, my
no.
people instead of.
That's a good story.
Okay.
This guy is a black athlete, and I'm not a sports person, but I just saw it on Instagram. I want to say he's a soccer player, but anyway, the point of the story was he's making like $10 million a year, and he had a cracked screen on his phone. And somebody was making note of that and wondered why a guy with all this money, he could buy 1,000 phones. Well, it turns out he came, I'm going to say came because I think he's going to Kenya grad. He had come from poverty, grab shack, starvation. He is sending all his money back. He is supporting neighborhoods, giving money to families to boost the economy. He is building, I don't know whether he's building schools, but $10 million a year would go a long way. But that was heartwarming to me.
Yeah.
Because they showed other millionaires with these 10 Ferraris in a row, and he said, "Why would I want to do 10 Ferraris when I could change the lives of these people back in there and this type of thing?" I really enjoyed that story. 875 million. Okay, if I win it, I'll share it with you, Angie. What do you do with 875? There was a guy that won like a $400 or $500 million lottery ticket. They were from out of state, and the ticket was bought in Fountain Hills.
Oh my.
And whenever he won it, whoever the guy was vaporized, which was probably a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because when the lotteries first came out, I was in a hardware store, and long story short, the gal was at the counter, I knew her. A guy who lived in the house behind the hardware store had won that summer. It wasn't nearly this much money.
Right.
But he quit working. His wife couldn't stand having him at home, so she went to work. He spent some money on a cattle thing in Kansas, but he was bored, so he'd come into the hardware store all the time. That's how the gal telling me the story knew about it. So he had. So is that a blessing or is it I built my airplane first. I'm gonna do that.
There you go. There you go.
And I'd have some left over.
A little bit.
There was a chandler that I hung out with for 2 years, Richard Ireland. He was big earlier in this last century. But he supported some orphanages with all the money he made in South America and things like that.
There's a lot of positive things you can do with that money.
Yeah, if you think about it. There was one guy, I love this. He was a black football player, athletic. And not that the black has anything to do with it, but I remember him being that way and identifying it. He made so much money one year. He went and bought his 2 ex-wives' houses. I don't remember who he was. And he bought his new wife a house. I probably had to do that to keep the
Yes, yes.
But I'm thinking, what a guy. I saw the picture. I thought that was great. To have, willing to go back to the exes.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. That is a lot of money on that. And I actually wrote an article about what to do with that money.
Oh, did you really?
It hasn't been published yet, but I might have a connection that'll get it published.
Cool.
Unless anybody out there knows how I can get it published. Well, I had come across an article about winning the lottery, 15 things to do when you win the lottery. And I thought they were a little bit off, so I did a little bit more common sense and it's basically 6, but I can't remember what, lottery preparation, what to do to be prepared to win or receive a lot of money. So, yeah.
What I heard is you want to get out of debt because everybody starts knocking on your front door.
Well, there's that, but there's a lot of things you can do.
You suddenly have a lot of friends.
Yeah. Well, the first thing you do is you don't say anything. You don't tell
That's what I thought.
anybody.
You don't tell anybody.
Nope.
I thought that would be I'm ready then. 'Cause
Okay.
I know to do that.
Yes, you're ready. You know to do
Ready
that.
to win.
Then the next thing, and I won't get all of
Oh,
it.
student loans.
Yes, definitely. Set up a trust for my kids, grandkids, build a compound and shop and
You
travel.
can pay off a lot of student loans.
Yes, definitely. Definitely pay it, everything out. And Angie's read my article, so she knows.
She's on track too.
Yeah, she
She's
knows
ready.
not to
So she
tell
knows,
everybody.
Don't tell anybody.
Not at first, not until you get your ducks in the row, and then you can tell people. But you have to be ready for the onslaught of people coming out at. When you say publish, what do you mean, Julie? I publish my articles on my blog. Yeah, I want to sell it to someone to publish it for me. And yeah, I can put it on my blog, but yeah, I would like some money for it. That's part of my manifestation preparation. So yeah. But I did talk to someone. I don't know if RG is still on, but I did meet somebody through my brother that that might be able to help me get it published. So I've got to send it to him. But I have a feeling I need to send it to my brother before his friend gets it, because I can't find his contact information at this time. So, and I'm calling my brother RG now instead of other names. Sorry. He's here, right, RG?
Sibling rivalry?
No. I had a hard time leaving or letting go of his childhood name.
Oh.
And then his teenager name. Only, yeah, it's just abbreviated. Anyway, because the name he wanted to be called was my ex-brother-in-law, and I didn't want to call him that.
Oh, it'd be that connotation between the two.
Yeah, so I looked at his name on Facebook the other day, which he doesn't use, and it said RG, and it's like, oh, that's what I want to call you.
He is
So.
with you.
Yes, he is here. So I'm starting a retractable gear. Ah, yes, that's what he calls it, retractable gear. RG.
I like that.
Yes.
I like airplanes. That's great.
I know you like that. But yeah, so I've decided that's what I'm going to call him. He says he liked it too, so I'm calling him RG now.
$875 million. $875 million.
Yes, and combine the two, you've got 1435.
There was a radio station here some years ago when radio was still listened to. Anybody who wanted, they were pooling, trying to win one ticket. So there were grocery stores. They had booths set up, and people could go and buy a ticket for. So we were all buying into one pool. Nobody wanted, but there were thousands of people bought $1 tickets through this radio station. There was a couple in New York that took their whole life savings for the New York lottery. They figured they'd win something, and they did like $275,000 they invested in. And they don't think they get a return on their money.
Ooh.
Do we want to stay on an additional 15 to make up for what we didn't do in the beginning?
That's up to you. Or okay, does anybody have a question for the Gabriel Collective?
Otherwise, we will bid fondue.
I don't know if Angie's earlier questions were.
There weren't really.
She was about the energies and stuff.
Oh,
That's
she was
not.
asking about for the.
What was that?
I was moving the speaker.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Can you leave in Ukraine for soon? What?
Is your brother in Ukraine?
No.
Oh, Angie had a question.
Peace. Oh, is there peace in the Ukraine soon? I think that's what he meant.
Angie, you'd like to address your next question. This is not me, it's them, Angie. You have many steps in front of you, and you're very graceful at taking the next step with caution. We applaud you for your candor when you make your next moves. You don't leap into anything hastily. We would say keep your head up and keep looking ahead. Sometimes you get distracted by negativity from your past. We would like to reemphasize the point of looking forward for you and disconnecting from any ties of prior events. This would be our most positive aspect to share with you. You are doing well, life is strong around you and with you, and for that reason we have no deep concerns for your future. You are well centered in your respect for those around you and others that you try to help. We once again applaud you and wish you well in your future as you continue to look straight ahead and not look back. Blessings to you from all of us.
I hope that helps, Angie.
What was the Ukraine thing?
I think he's asking about peace in the Ukraine soon.
Oh, peace in the Ukraine. Who even knows what's going on over there? We don't get the straight scoop, I don't think.
No. Yes, it does give you caution for moving forward, but
You don't want to dwell there, Angie. You know, take a glimpse back and go, oh, okay, won't do that again.
I think you've learned too many lessons as it is, but that's my opinion. I think they've given you a lot to deal with, and that maybe shedding them is the right way to do it, because you've got it in your head. You have such a great memory. You know, you don't need to look back. It's there when you need it. That's what I'm getting. The information is there when you need it. You don't even have to think. It pops in your head so quickly. So quickly. You are so good at so many things. And all of us love how much help you've given us. We cannot express how much we appreciate you, Angie. And I know my brother's on as well, and he would say the same thing to you.
Has Angie worked with your brother a lot?
No, not that much, but recently just being he's been to class maybe 4 or 5 times and on Tuesday night classes, and Angie's usually there, and she's just such a great inspiration for all of us. And I know she's going through a rough time. She's dealing with a lot of things, but we believe in her. Oh, somebody just tried to call me. I don't know who it was. Oh, my brother tried. Why would you call? Oh.
Amen to that.
Yeah. I guess I get a picture. That's my nephew.
Your brother's son.
Yeah.
Your past is how you learn. But if it's consuming you, who you are now, there's something not right with that belief.
What?
Well, I'm just talking about the past is how you learn. Yes, the past has made you who you are now.
Right.
And I'm thinking, when I think of past, I think of angst with a particular person or an event or an action or vengeful thoughts, or how could you do this to me, or what other things that are unhealthy to dwell on.
Right.
In that back. Yeah, you learn not to touch the hot fire, but you don't sit around thinking about holding your hand in the fire. You think, well, I'm not going to do that again.
I learned my lesson, I move on.
Yeah.
I know. But we all have our path and we've got to figure our own way. And like they always say, we have our own free will. So
Well, I
Make
think
your
we
decision.
slowed down here. We could probably
Yep.
cue out. Thank everybody for being here today.
okay. All right, let me get some of the commercials on real quick. And happy what you got?
Shelley had popped in.
Hi, Shelley. We're just about ready to leave.
Did you have a quick question? We're sort of dragging out here. Is that some Monday night, Shelley?
Yeah, that's Monday Night
Monday
Shelley.
Night Shelley.
And Monday Night Shelley, just kidding. Do you have any questions for the Gabriel Collective that you might want to ask?
We've been talking about lottery numbers.
No question.
Since life is good for you, that's great.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to get on to the commercials and then we'll see what Gabriel Collective might want to say on its way out, on our way out. So first,
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
As we conclude today, let the collective, that would be us, Gabriel crowd, step forward one more time. And we want to emphasize the importance of maintaining your connection with your higher source. That is your one true, shall we say, energetic question answering, guidance supplying, mentoring energy that's available to you 24/7. The more you can connect there, you will be bewildered at the results. And yet, there is no surprise that that connection exists for all who choose to pursue it and refine that channel. We wish you many happy events on this day and days to come until we meet again. Blessings to you all. The Gabriel Collective. Thank you. Good. I'm good.
Yes.
This was good. You
Yes.
were good. You were fabulous.
Thank you. It was a great time tonight, or this morning, I should say. And with that, we will, whoops, something is not working here. There it goes. We will head out. So thank you very much, everyone.
Hasta la vista, baby.